Today I'm here in Barwari, Alphaville, and I'm going to interview someone who was lucky enough to film an unidentified flying object coming out of a lunar crater. After the intro, we are at the exact spot where Erikson filmed an unidentified flying object coming out of a lunar crater. This is Erikson. How are you, Erikson? And he kindly invited us to tell this story, how it happened, right? And we're at the scene of the events. Let me tell you in advance, you're a lucky guy because you were in the right place, pointing the telescope, and catching something like that in the act is really a matter of luck. But tell us, it was on the 3rd, right? August 3rd, 2025. Tell us what it was like. Was that your footage?
I was up here, but good evening, good afternoon. I don't know what time I should say, or good morning, right? Good morning. I was up here usually watching the moon on that day too. I sensed, even in the original video, that I was drawn to film in that spot, in that hole in the moon. I placed it there, zoomed in and out, and when I zoomed in again, an object appeared. So I usually say it's a bit of luck and a bit of intuition, and together that's how we managed to capture the image.
So, but at first you had seen an object, right? Before you started filming, how was it? Was that it?
That? An object passed in front of the moon, but it was totally different. It passed by. It just looked like that spirit, right? The B-2 from the United States resembles a satellite in shape. I found this odd, which is why I started filming the moon. When I pointed it at the moon, I noticed the hole and thought its shape looked very similar. I had a strong intuition and decided to focus there. It just came from within.
Then that sphere appeared, right? It looks like it's coming out from inside the moon, and you can see it's glowing.
Going up, yeah. Even after watching the video and closely examining 10x-1 several times, it keeps rising. You can see it a bit, but it's still increasing.
The brightness, right? You can notice the brightness is going up like that. Then you stop it abruptly.
Exactly.
What happened?
Since I was filming with another phone, I think when you're not recording, it has a timer that records and then it shuts off to save battery. And it shut off right then. I already put it back to 10x-1, right? As you saw in the video, but by then it had already captured. I said I'd zoom in later to look for it, and I actually saw it come out. I thought I was going crazy when I saw it.
So this was on August 3rd, 2025. What time was it, more or less?
It was 8:39 to 8:40 because I have it. After listening to the video, I thought it was the 4th, but it was the 3rd. I said if it's then, I even tried going back and did everything at the same time. But then the weather wasn't helping us to observe with the same clarity as that day.
And the telescope you used, show it here. This one, right? It's a Greker, correct?
ANSI, the Greika 770, and this phone, the Moto Edge 30. And I recorded it with this one here because this one had run out of battery, out of memory.
I see.
So I filmed it on top of him like this. He stays here, look, right? Stuck here, this one, look. And then I filmed it from him like this, because it had run out. I have several videos here. Look, Monte de Lua. I'm seeing it. Zay, let me show it on camera.
Just lower it a little bit here. Look, there are several videos of the moon that were made, right? And do you like astronomy? Let me ask you one more thing. When you were filming, were you filming the southern part of the moon, the southern craters, or the northern ones?
The north, yeah. I forgot the name. I had it, but just blanked, though I did look it up. A guy called and said, there's a National Aeronautics and Space Administration website where we can see movement by day and time. We checked, but it's just photos, right? It's not frames, it's not a video, right? So you can't just catch the exact moment it leaves, but you can see the day and time. And the crater is really huge because it doesn't capture it from the side like I did, it captures it from above, right? So it ended up showing that there really is a crater there. There's that hole, but you can't see the ship leaving because it's a photo.
I see. So it was on the northern part of the moon, right? Yes, well, on that upper part.
Right, the upper part. And
so that was the first time that looking through the telescope at the stars, the moon, you saw something different. Or in your life, have you ever had any other kind of sighting?
No, I have had sightings, but not with the telescope. I didn't have the telescope yet, right? And with the telescope, I caught a comet. It's even on my profile. It shows me a comet. I caught it around 5:30 in the morning. I always wake up early here to watch the clear sky, and that day I spotted the comet. I caught an object below. You can even see it underneath. That intrigued me since I didn't know what it was. I kept watching and caught this one. Earlier, I saw the one I mentioned to you pass by, but I couldn't record it. When I lived in Granja Viana, I saw something pass overhead, but it was just intuition. I was inside the house around 4:30 a.m. It's also on my profile. There, I show myself leaving the house filming, stepping out from under the roof and turning to start filming. The object below vanishes, leaving only the one above. It clearly disappears as I turn. That's how I felt as well. So go outside and look at the sky. And I left the house and looked, and it was passing by. So I don't know if people say they want to communicate, but I don't know who. I'm a Christian. I've read the Bible and have a general understanding of how the spiritual realm works. Jesus fought on earth and preached about hell more than anyone. So we know that there is an adversary, and we know that there are plans and things to deceive humanity. Now, I can't say for sure. I have my thoughts and theories, but I can't go around accusing everyone or saying whether it's right or wrong. So we keep studying, and day by day, we keep breaking through and understanding more about what's going on with these mysteries.
So there were 2 recordings, and we're also going to show this footage from Granja Viana besides these recordings. Sighting. We were talking on WhatsApp, and you told me that it seems there was also a sighting in Butantan. Tell me a little bit, what year was that? What did you see?
That was around 2009, 2012. Between 2009 and 2012, I don't remember exactly. And then it was New Year's Eve, and I looked and saw behind a hill and a building that's there in Butantan, a shining object appeared nearby. 4 or 5 people were still with me, and I asked, "Are you seeing this?" And everyone looked and said no. I said, then I'm going crazy. And then I looked and saw the object. When they looked, they searched, right? It went behind the building and vanished. I realized there were no drones back then.
This was in Butantan, in Sao Paulo,
It's in São Paulo, near University of São Paulo, right there.
and so on. Do you have any relatives who have ever had any kind of experience in Sao Paulo or anywhere else?
My parents loved going to São Tomé. They used to live there, right? Yeah, they used to show me Polaroid pictures saying, look, this is a spaceship. You could see a shadow and some shapes. Because it moves so fast, it leaves a trail. He already showed me some surprising things. So they live in Peruíba, right next to that Cobra Rock, where people even say there are sightings.
Oh, in Guaraú, right there. And Peruíba is a hot spot where many cases appear.
Exactly.
They've also seen something over there.
They've seen things but have no photo evidence. They've already said they've seen some things, yes.
On the coast where they live? Interesting. I even wanted to remind you guys that in October there will be a ufology event in Peruíbe. I'll be there giving a lecture as well. So stay tuned because we'll be keeping you updated on social media. Did you hear that, Erikson? To wrap up our conversation, I'd like you to share your opinion on what you think they are.
It's more of an idea than a theory. I've read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, and there we see a lot of things like demons materializing and advanced technologies that are hidden, right? So it only arrives after 20 or 30 years, so theoretically it could be something terrestrial there, trying to deceive humanity, to confuse the minds of those who don't truly know the word, so they'll be deceived and worship the wrong God, the Antichrist, right? And with this vision, many will be deceived. Even the Bible says that if possible, he would deceive even the chosen ones. So we see that it could be a strategy of the enemy putting an artificial intelligence, a spaceship, something like that, to later appear by surprise. They claim to have created the human race, developed everything here, and that Jesus is one of them, among other things. Basically wanting to create this mechanism to dominate the population. Because many will be deceived, right? The gate to heaven is narrow, so many won't make it. That even hurts the heart. I seek holiness daily, even as a sinner. Yeah, I know I make mistakes too, but I keep moving forward. Like being clean isn't about never getting dirty, but about always washing yourself. So every day I try to ask for forgiveness, mercy, to do my best. We try to do our best, but we always end up doing the worst, right? Even Jesus said, you want to do good but don't, and end up doing the evil you don't want to do. So I hope that what I summarized here a little bit. I think they're spiritual beings, since the Bible says our struggle isn't against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. So we see that they are spirits and they can materialize themselves and they can use technology because they are intelligent. We can't deny their cunning. The Bible says the children of darkness are shrewder than those of the light. So we know that they regroup and create more powerful organizations because the church is concerned with ego. It splits apart from within itself. Instead of seeking unity, they end up with oneness, not union, because union can break apart, but oneness is just one. There is no breaking apart. So it's pretty complex, but I think you got the general idea. I believe it's spiritual. Just as there are demons, there are angels. It's an unseen battle, but it happens.
Very interesting point of view here from Erikson. And it's that thing, we don't know what it is, this anomalous thing that came out of a crater on the moon on its northern side. Whether it's terrestrial technology, something extraterrestrial, or from another dimension, or spiritual beings, we don't know. But is it anomalous and extremely interesting? And that thing, you were really lucky. I wanted to thank Erikson for sharing this knowledge and this story with us here. See you in the next live video podcast with Edison Boaventura.
Thanks. And today I came to share a story about an object I saw coming out of the moon a few days ago. I was filming around 10 at night. When I saw the first object passing by, it looked like a B-2, that plane from the United States, you know? When I grabbed my phone, I realized I wasn't recording because the memory was full. I grabbed my other phone and started filming. At that moment, I saw two very similar symmetrical holes on the moon. So I started to focus and found that hole really strange. And I had a feeling, focus and film that hole. I had a feeling. I said, I'm going to film here and I'm going to focus. That's when I saw an object rising, which you can see in the video. And this intrigued me because, in fact, we know there's something inside the moon. We don't know if it's a human machine with artificial intelligence, if it's a human being guiding it, or if it's an extraterrestrial. We can't tell, but let's go. Let's try to figure it out. One day we'll know the truth. Thanks, big hug.